Hello dear students, I am Samir Velankar. I welcome all of you to this another video on control structures in C. In this video, we will learn about switch case control structure. Actually, switch case control structure, is a replacement to if else. So in case you don't like, for some reason, if you don't like to write if else, instead of if else you can write switch case, but not always. Switch case has some disadvantages or some shortcomings, so it is not so powerful that we will learn later, but right now you understand that it is simple replacement to if else. So what I thought is, before we read this all whatever is written in black here, if we can see an exercise straight away, it will be good. Now here in the exercise I have written a nested if else. Check the nested if else I have written. The nested if else written over here is, if p is equal to 1, where p is some variable, and we are asking, is this variable p having a value 1? If it is 1, then execute a statement A. You imagine A is some statement, okay? Some printf or any statement, but I have labeled that statement as A. But if p is not 1, then go to else and check the another if. So the second if will be tested only if the first if is false. And if the value of the variable p is 2, then execute B. Otherwise, go to the third if, check if it is 3, then execute C. But if p is neither 1 nor 2 nor 3, if it is none of this, then you know that this last else will run, and last else has no other option but to execute D. So the statement D will run if p is anything other than 1, 2 or 3. So you know this all about this nested if else. We have seen it in the previous video. Now suppose instead of this nested if, you want to write switch case, so that the same work is done as done by nested if. Then switch case is written as follows. Check the grammar also and it's working. Switch statement, switch word is always followed by bracket. And in the bracket, you always write expression. Remember, it's not a Boolean expression. Any expression you can write, math expression, any expression. But then I am going to write P here. Now you see what is the technique used here is, in the bracket of the switch, you write that variable which is supposed to be compared with a value. Now you see the if here. Check the if. Which variable are we comparing in the if? We are comparing P. P with 1, P with 2, P with 3. In the switch statement of the bracket here, we will simply give the variable which is under consideration. Now switch is always followed by braces, always. If you write switch, you have to give braces, and after the brace there is one reserved word called case. This word has to be written, and now this case word is followed by the value with which you want to compare this variable P. Now watch, you have written this switch, then you have written P, and after the word case you write the value with which you want to compare P. So it seems you are asking nothing but you are asking, is the value of P, is this P equal to 1, like that. So this word case, internally is actually taken as equal to equal to. This is nothing but equal to equal to. Dramatic, isn't it? We read this as case, but internally C or C++ takes this as equal to. So what do you have? You are checking, is P written in the bracket here, is P equal to 1? And after this, okay, I'll just erase this equal to. After this 1, that is case 1, you write colon character. It's there in the grammar, colon, and then you write the sentence which you want to execute if P is 1. So as you see in the original if P is 1, you want to execute A. That's what you have exactly written. If P is 1, you want to run A. But then there is one special word which comes here, special sentence called break. Now break is given with every case, but it is optional. You may or may not give break. Well, in this example, we are giving break for every case. Don't worry, we will see how it works. Okay, after case, We will write case 1. After case 1, we'll write case 2. Now, how do you read this? Case 2 colon. You are saying if the value of this variable p written in the bracket of the switch, if it is equal to 2, if it is equal to 2, then better run statement number B. As you see in the if the condition p equal to 2 is true, then you want to run B, and then there will be a statement break. What follows this is case 3. Case 3 means is p equal to 3. If p is equal to 3, you want to run C, statement C, and then comes break. Now what if value of p is neither 1 nor 2 nor 3? It is none of this. Then you have a special word here called default. Now this default will run only if all the previous cases are false and you want to run line D. And after that, break is optional. You may or may not give break. It doesn't matter because default is anyway last case. So I'm not giving break after D, and here ends the switch. Now what if I say that the switch written on the right here is absolutely equivalent to if statement? It's absolutely equal. Let's see how it runs. Assume for some time that value of p is 1. Check it then. If value of p is 1, how does the if work? P is 1, so this if is true. The very first if is true where the cursor is hovering. If P is 1 is true, then A will run, and after A runs, the entire else will be dropped. Yes, everyone, entire else is dropped, isn't it? Because as P is 1, first if is true, A runs, and then else doesn't run. Obviously, if is true, else doesn't run, and the entire else is dropped. So what happens in the switch here? Let's see. If P is 1, then case 1 is true now, isn't it? Because P is 1, case 1 is true, so it will run a statement A, and then break runs. Now what break is going to do is, break is simply going to take the control or throw the control out of switch. So control will come out of switch after the switch. And that's what we wanted. If P is 1, then it should run the statement A and simply pull the control out of break, out of switch using the break statement. But listen, in switch, break statement has to be given, isn't it? If you don't give break, what will happen? I'll tell you after some time or in the next video, maybe. But break will simply pull the control out of the switch. Let's see again. Suppose P is not 1, P is 2. Then you know how this if runs. First, if will check is P 1, which is false. So it will go to else. And then it will check, okay, P is not 1. So is it 2? Yes, it is true. So statement B will run, and after statement B, the remaining else will be dropped, isn't it? Simply not execute. So how is this switch running then? Now P value of P is 2, isn't it? So if P is 2, so case 2 is true, isn't it? Because P is 2. So statement B runs, and after that break will simply pull the control out of remaining switch. So the next line written after the switch will run. I guess you are following it. Now, what if P is 4? Come on. If P is 4, everybody knows that D runs, isn't it? Check. P equal to 1 is false. So else if P equal to 2 is false. So else if P equal to 3 is false. So D runs. The last else executes. Now, in the case of switch, if P is 4, imagine P is 4, then case 1 is false. So A doesn't run. Case 2 is false. So B doesn't run. Case 3 is false. So C doesn't run. Then ultimately the control reaches default. And if default runs, then D runs, isn't it? And after D runs, obviously the next line is end of switch. So that is why there is no need of giving break after D. It will be very silly to give break after D. Because anyway, if default runs, it is the last statement. So the control will automatically come down, isn't it? So what's the sense in giving break after the default? Okay. Now have a look at the grammar. Anyway, we have now understood how to write switch, but before we close this discussion, let's see the grammar of the switch, which is written on the left hand side over here. You can see that switch is followed by bracket, and in the bracket you write expression. Expression can be anything, a simple variable like p, or maybe some math expression can be written. And then after the open brace of switch, there is always a open brace for switch. There is case and some value like 1, 2, and then colon character. In the after the colon character, you write statements and then break. You can write any number of such cases, value 2, value 3, value n, and typically the last case is the default case, isn't it? And that ends the switch. More examples we may see in the next video. Thank you very much.